So, first-time visitor to the Philippines. Here's what you need to know. The Philippines is known for its beautiful people, beautiful beaches, beautiful mountains, beautiful everything. But it's also known for having some not-so-beautiful things like poverty, corruption, and traffic. That's why in this video we're going to cover all the important stuff you need to know about the Philippines from a survival standpoint. And hopefully, you'll survive your first trip to the Philippines. And stick around till the end because we're going to tell you one thing that will make your life much easier while you're here in the Philippines. Number 1. Getting around. Getting around in the Philippines can be quite an adventure, especially if you come from a country where things run on time and on schedule. Here in the Philippines, there are jeepneys, buses, taxis, tricycles, haba-habas, ferries, and even airplanes. You can get around the country by air, land, or sea. We won't talk about air because that's pretty straightforward, but let's focus on land and sea. In Manila and other major cities, you'll find a lot of cars, buses, tricycles, and jeepneys. Taxis are metered, but they don't always have working meters, and many drivers will turn off their meters when they see tourists because they think you wouldn't know any better. This is especially true for Uber and Grab taxis. Always ask the driver to turn on his meter. If he says the meter is broken, then just get out and take another taxi. Buses are cheap, but the routes can be confusing, and they tend to be packed with people. They're also usually running on a 1 to 2 hour delay, so keep that in mind. Jeepneys are probably the most iconic form of transportation in the Philippines. These colorful vehicles are usually going to be your cheapest option, but also the most crowded. There's no set route for jeepneys, so everyone who flags one down gets on. Once the jeepney is full, it'll continue on its route until everyone has gotten off. It can be quite the adventure riding in one of these babies, but it's definitely worth a try. Tricycles are three-wheeled vehicles that can be found throughout the Philippines. They're often used as a last resort when public transportation isn't available. Tricycle drivers are also notorious for overcharging tourists. So beware. Try to negotiate a price before you get in, or just walk away and hail another tricycle. If you want to get between islands, then you're going to need to take a ferry. The Philippine Islands are spread out over a large area of ocean, so getting from one island to the next can take some time. The good news is that there are plenty of ferry companies to choose from. Just make sure you book your tickets in advance, especially if you plan on traveling during a holiday. Number 2. Food. Food in the Philippines is a delicious mix of Asian and American flavors. You can find anything from traditional Filipino dishes to fast food and everything in between. The Philippines is a very agricultural country, so fresh produce is readily available. Seafood is also very popular in the Philippines, especially in coastal areas. If you're a fan of seafood, you'll definitely be happy here. The Philippines is also home to a variety of fruits that you may not have seen before. Durian, mango, limes, coconut, pineapple, papaya, rambutan, mango, soursop, guava, starfruit, passion fruit, and many more. Oh yeah, did we mention that it's also home to the world's largest fruit? It's called a jackfruit. If you've never tried one before, then you're missing out. They're sweet, juicy, and a little bit fibrous, kind of like a very aromatic mango. Now, let's talk about some must-try Filipino foods. Adobo is probably the most famous Filipino dish. It's a stew made with chicken or pork, vinegar, soy sauce, garlic, and pepper. Sinigang is another popular Filipino soup dish. It's sour soup with pork, beef, fish, or seafood. The soup is made with tamarind or guava and is served with vegetables and rice. One of our personal favorites is a dessert called Halo Halo. It's a mixture of shaved ice, evaporated milk, beans, fruits, jellies, and more. It's a really refreshing dessert and perfect for the hot climate. Also, try some Halo Halo at a carinderia. A carinderia is a type of restaurant that serves home-style Filipino food. These restaurants are usually family-run, and the food is always fresh and delicious. The best part is that they're usually very affordable. Most carinderias will have a set menu that changes daily. You can choose from a selection of main dishes, and they usually come with rice and a side dish. You can also order additional dishes if you want. And of course, no meal in the Philippines is complete without rice. Rice is a staple of the Filipino diet, and it's usually served with every meal. It's typically washed and rinsed several times before cooking to remove any impurities. Then it's cooked in a special rice cooker called a palay yuk. The rice is often served with a small amount of tuyo, which is dried fish. Now, let's talk about some Filipino dishes you should probably avoid. First up is a dish called balut. It's a fertilized duck egg that's boiled and then eaten in the shell. The embryo is partially developed and you can actually see the bones and feathers. If you're squeamish, then you might want to skip this one. Another dish you might want to avoid is a sour soup called bagoong. It's made with shrimp or fish and is often served with vegetables and rice. Bagoong is very pungent and not everyone can stomach it. And finally, let's talk about a popular Filipino snack called a tuna pie. A tuna pie is a savory pie made with tuna, potatoes, and carrots. It's usually deep-fried and served with a vinegar-dipping sauce. It may sound appetizing, but trust us, it's not. The filling is often dry and the crust is soggy. It's definitely not worth the calories. Number 3. People. The people in the Philippines are some of the warmest and most welcoming people you'll ever meet. They're known for their hospitality and friendliness. It's not uncommon to strike up a conversation with a stranger and make a new friend. The Filipinos are also very religious. You'll see churches and religious statues everywhere. They're also very family-oriented. The family comes first in their lives and they're not afraid to show it. You'll often see families eating together at restaurants and taking care of each other's children. Now, let's talk about something that can be a bit annoying about the Filipino people. They're known for being very gossipy. They love to talk about other people and their business. It's not malicious gossip, though. They just love to share news and information. They also love to be the center of attention. You'll often see them taking selfies and posting them on social media. They also love to party. They celebrate everything with a party, whether it's a birthday, a wedding, or just a random Tuesday. The parties can go on for days. Number 4. Safety. The Philippines is generally a safe country for tourists. However, like any country, there are areas to avoid and precautions to take. We'll let you in on a little secret. The entire country of the Philippines is a big construction zone. There are roads being built, buildings being demolished, and highways being repaired everywhere. This means that there's a lot of traffic and accidents. Be careful when crossing the street and always wear a helmet when riding a motorcycle. Petty theft is also a problem in the Philippines, especially in tourist areas. Be sure to keep your valuables safe and don't flash your cash around. Another thing to watch out for are scams. There are a lot of scammers around, especially online. Be wary of anyone you meet online and never give out your personal information. Number 5. Accommodation. There are many different places to stay in the Philippines, from budget-friendly hostels to luxury resorts. The country is very popular with backpackers and digital nomads, so there's a lot of options for those on a tight budget. If you're looking for something a little more luxurious, there are plenty of 5-star hotels to choose from. The Philippines is also becoming a popular destination for retirees, so there are a lot of gated communities and retirement homes. No matter what your budget, you can find a place to stay in the Philippines. Number 6. Internet. The internet in the Philippines is pretty reliable. However, it can be spotty in some rural areas. If you're planning on working remotely, just make sure you have a backup plan in case the internet goes down. A backup plan could be as simple as using your phone as a hotspot. Many of the cafes and restaurants also have free Wi-Fi, so you can always work from there. Now, let's talk about internet speed. The Philippines has a fiber optic network that provides high-speed internet to most of the country. However, the average internet speed is slower than other countries in the region. Number 7. Transportation. If you plan on renting a car in the Philippines, then you need to know a few things. First, always rent from a reputable company. There are a lot of scams involving rental cars in the Philippines. Make sure you read the fine print and know exactly what you're getting into. Second, always get liability insurance. Accidents happen all the time in the Philippines, and you don't want to be stuck with a huge medical bill. Third, drive defensively. The roads in the Philippines can be dangerous and unpredictable. Always wear a seatbelt and never drink and drive. Number 8. Climate. The Philippines has a tropical climate, so it's hot and humid year-round. The temperature rarely drops below 80 degrees Fahrenheit. There are 2 seasons, wet and dry. The wet season is from June to November, and the dry season is from December to May. The best time to visit the Philippines is during the dry season. The rainy season can be quite uncomfortable since it rains almost every day. Number 9. Things to bring. If you're visiting the Philippines, there are a few things you should consider bringing with you. First, bring plenty of sunscreen. You'll want to protect yourself from the strong tropical sun. Also, bring insect repellent. Mosquitoes can be a problem in some areas of the country. And lastly, bring an adapter. The Philippines uses Type A, B, and C outlets. Number 10. Haggling. Haggling is a way of life in the Philippines. It's common to haggle over the price of goods in markets and even in some shops. Don't be surprised if you pay half of what the item is marked for. Haggling is not only expected, it's appreciated. Many people see it as a game and they enjoy the back and forth. Just be respectful and don't get angry if you can't agree on a price. We told you that there was one thing that would make your life easier in the Philippines, and that thing is a phrase book. And, as always, thanks for watching.